Which wound is it that needs unpacking for you today? We have emotional repression and unresolved grief, both flipping over. The way out through the trigger is to allow yourself to feel how the wound is making you feel, because it's not a punishment, it's a release. But with this unresolved grief card, see how she's like going through the different phases? You're never going to get through the 5 stages of grief if you don't let yourself begin. And to begin is to let yourself feel. And with emotional repression here, it's like the way to allow yourself to feel right now is to literally talk through it, write through it, draw through it, make art through it. There's a need to transmute your pain that you've been holding on to, that has been left unresolved, by making some kind of art out of it, by making some kind of physical proof of what you've survived in an indirect way. So this could be a poem, this could be a journal entry, this could be just you talking it through with yourself on a recording and then deleting it after. There's a need to release, and the Queen of Wands is the social queen. So there's a need to see. There's a quote and it says, some pain, before it is able to be released, demands to be witnessed. It's like the pain that you're feeling, it needs you to see it. It needs you to witness it. It needs you to acknowledge it instead of numb yourself to it. And only then will you be able to get that victory that's here but blocked. And it's interesting because we just had the Queen of Wands and now we have the Four of Wands, which is community. So we have the social queen disconnected from the community because you're disconnected from self. There's this feeling of looking for the tools outside of you that actually will be found within. We have Judgment, Nine of Pentacles, and the Empress all in reverse here. It feels like no one taught you the tools of how to release what it is that you've been holding on to. And that's why you've been holding on to it. It's not for a lack of trying on your part. It's just you didn't really know how. But with the Star, the answers are within you. You are the cosmos embodied into human form. You have all the tools. You have the answers. You just have been kind of caught up in other people making you feel like the answers or solutions had to come from outside of you or beyond you. But they don't. The Holy Grail, the abundant love, high vibrational energy, you're not seeing it, but it's coming from within. And with the Tower in reverse, there's a need to not fear your own power here. I feel like you started to shut down at some point in terms of emotional repression. You didn't want to take that leap of faith on yourself, and there's the Queen in reverse now with the Devil. It's like what held you in this toxic holding pattern was not having the tools and not feeling worthy of creating those tools for yourself that could be used successfully. Now, as you allow yourself to start to feel what has been numbed, and as I said that my son just jumped into the water, so water represents emotions. There's this feeling of needing to just dive in fully. There's a trust deficiency issue on the bottom of the deck here. It's needing to trust yourself. Other people proved to be so untrustworthy that you at some point figured that you just must be attracting anyone who's untrustworthy because there's something within yourself that you couldn't yet trust. And that wasn't the case. There was this feeling of you interacting with certain people so you would witness what you would never become, what you would never succumb to, attachment wounds. There's this feeling of other people being attached to certain narratives that weren't serving them and trying to project that onto you. And their lack of trust with their own ability to shift perspective when necessary made you feel like there must be something lacking in terms of your own perspective. So now that you have detached yourself from the people who wanted to project their own attachment to their own insecurities. They wanted to put that onto you, but now that you have detached from them, The wound that's coming to the surface that's causing some kind of energy imbalance here is coping mechanism. It all goes back to how are you going to use the tools that you have to process the emotions that you've been holding on to that have been numbed. It's all within you. It just needs you to allow yourself to feel, to work through it, and to release it.